I'm here with Nick Carbone here. He is our client strategist at Prosperl CPA. And we're going to discuss what he does and how we make the client journey a success, and also how we assess, make sure that we are adequate for the client and the client is the right fit for us. So let's get started. Nick, tell the people listening here a little bit about you, who you are, and what was your background before you came and joined the team.
Yeah, so spent 6 years in the financial planning industry before joining the team. One of the things that really attracted me to this firm was their approach and stance on planning. There is a really big difference between tax preparation and tax planning, which a lot of people don't understand. And seeing the approach you take with the team here really drew me to the firm. And working with people in the financial planning space, one of the biggest challenges everyone faces is taxes. And being able to make an impact on that side of things has been really awesome to be a part of.
Cool. Yeah. So tell us about, because when we say client strategist, a lot of folks are interested. They're used to saying, "Well, what do you do?" I'm a tax, a manager. I'm a tax. What is help the audience understand it. Let's talk about what your role is specifically as a client strategist.
Yeah, so as a client strategist, means a ton of things to a ton of different people, but to me, it's really about meeting people where they are and understanding kind of what they're dealing with, seeing where they're lacking and what they're doing or challenges they're facing, and really making sure that we as a firm can kind of help close those gaps and enhance their overall situation.
So, and one of the things that you've been instrumental with here is, we have a lot of people coming to us, right? You got people who see us on Facebook and YouTube and other people's articles and word of mouth, and we're just flooded with inquiries and questions about what we do. And you found a way to take these clients that are interested and the right people for what we do, and not only make sure that that this is going to be a good fit on both sides, and it's going to be a very lucrative engagement for the client in the form of tax savings, but also to make sure that we're equipped. Tell us about how you support us in the client journey here.
Yeah, so it starts with an initial conversation and a really deep discovery, just to really uncover where someone's at, peel back the onion, understand some pain points, everything they're dealing with, from personal things, business structure, real estate, whatever it might be. And if we agree it's a mutual fit and I can identify that there's areas we can help them in, especially in the sense of tax savings, the onboarding process begins with an initial onboarding call, just to introduce people to the firm, our platforms, our systems, really how to leverage us as a resource in our communication protocol. That's one of the biggest issues that prospective clients come to me with, is communication. Their previous CPA relationships or relationships elsewhere, one of the biggest pain points they have is just communication. So we really harp on that with our communication protocol, our systems, and 24/7 access in the portal. So after that initial onboarding call, we move into a coaching call. I know a lot of entrepreneurs and real estate investors think they have a good kind of understanding of everything, but this is just to ensure that the fundamentals of tax planning are understood and we're educating around them. Both on the business side, real estate, kind of personal, just what can you do in your day-to-day to maximize your life in a tax-efficient way. From there, we go into a planning call, which really just outlines the foundation of their tax plan, kind of go over everything, pros and cons, kind of what these savings will reflect, cost of strategies to implement, and then from there, once we educate the client on the different strategies relevant to their situation, we move to a strategy call. So we're diving deep into these strategies, educating the client around them, answering any questions they have, making sure that it aligns with their time horizon, risk tolerance, goals, initiatives, and most importantly, savings.
So we get clients from all different backgrounds here. So what are some things that you're seeing with the prospects that come in, and what are some of the things that you're looking for to make sure that we're going to be that they're going to be best served with us, and this is going to be a great match? And also, what are those things specifically you hear the client saying where you're realizing, okay, here's a way, here are some opportunities, and here are some needs where Prosperl CPA can come through and really make a difference and have an impact on his clients?
Yeah, I mean, outside of the initial financial or business or real estate thresholds to see if we can make an impact, one of the first questions I ask is any immediate needs or concerns as it relates to your situation. And oftentimes people will think or say they're overpaying. Communication, as I mentioned earlier, is a big issue. A lot of people go to a CPA for tax planning, but in reality, they're just getting preparation, going to their CPA at the end of the year with all their information, getting a letter in the mail telling them how much they owe. Not really a proactive, collaborative relationship. So once I kind of see where they're at, issues they're dealing with, pain points, we're really just uncovering more and more about their situation. And as the conversation progresses, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, here's where we can help them. This is what we can do. And then eventually we move into what we can do for them after I identify we can actually add value.
Awesome. And, you kind of touched on this here, but what are some of, when you talk to these prospects and we're assessing what their needs are here, what are some of the things that you see that, in addition to client communication, when it comes to the advisory and the tax plan, what are some of the opportunities and things you may see that they're missing out on?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are coming to me with barely even the basics in place. They're not taking advantage of their entity structure within their business, certain retirement plans within their business to create deductions. Anything with real estate, they're just kind of scratching the surface with standard depreciation methods and not understanding the rep status or material participation, things like the Augusta rule, entity structuring, charitable structuring. So they're really just scratching the surface when it comes to tax planning and things that they could be doing. And there's just so much opportunity and savings that end up getting left on the table.
Yeah, we often find we ask our prospective clients, what are you doing now to reduce your taxes? And do you even know what you're allowed to write off? And usually the answers are very revealing that in showing that there's a lot of inadequacies and they've never had the opportunity to actually understand the tax incentives for entrepreneurs. And another thing I'm curious here is, as you see what the clients go through this whole journey and they're looking for advisors and we're talking to them and prospects, what are some of the greatest misperceptions they have about what we do and what the accounting profession is and what the tax profession is?
Yeah, and to your previous point, that's what's so exciting to me about one of the initial calls in that coaching call, is because people don't even know the fundamentals of what they can write off. I mean, they know some of it, but not the full extent. How can you write off travel, meals, the difference between actual and mileage when it comes to vehicles. So that's a pretty awesome opportunity to really provide value to the clients. And then things they're lacking, I would say, with relationships they have or just things they're looking for, is the proactiveness of a team. I often hear people going to their CPAs or financial advisors or whoever it may be in their sphere and coming to them with ideas and strategies, things they might have saw online or TikTok or Instagram. Just, I saw this. Is it something? And because the CPA might not have knowledge in it or fully understands it or trusts it, they're just nah, it's not worth it, and leave a lot on the table. So having a team that's educated in the whole sphere of tax planning, and one that's proactive and that has 24/7 access to client communication through the portal, something changes, you go buy a business, you go sell a business, buy a property, put it in the portal, and we're planning for it. It's not something that we're going to look at the end of the year and be like, oh, we could have structured this differently and saved this over here, or why'd you do that, or XYZ, like 1031 exchanges. Like, you have to be on top of things and planning for them as they happen, not after they happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what would you say some words of wisdom and advice on how should someone who's a business owner, entrepreneur, highly paid W-2 who needs tax planning, what kind of advice and guidance would you say you would recommend for someone to find the right fit for a tax advisor?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, people don't know what they don't know. So looking for people in an area that you don't have knowledge in, seeking them out, doing the research, typing in strategies online and seeing what firms might be able to help, doing education on your own. But as a business owner, entrepreneur, real estate investor, time is something you don't have a lot of. So finding the right team to kind of do that research for you, come to you with ideas, is super important, especially when you're running a multi-million-dollar business or have a real estate portfolio where you're constantly traveling and your time spent in the things you're good at, as it is for us. We're good at what we do, so we're taking the bulk of it and running with it.
How does that compare to someone who says, you know what, I'm going to save some money and just listen to some podcasts and read some books and listen to a podcast while I'm driving to and from work? How does that mindset compare?
I mean, all the power to them. If you want to spend the time to do that and learn the strategies, like I said, it's the only commodity you can ever have more of, and you're not an expert in it. Like, we have the licenses, the education, things that got us to where we are today to create these savings. We know what we're doing. If someone were to do that and try to write off $80,000 for an Augusta rule or something like that, it could come back to bite them.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't discourage anyone from self-educating, but it should never be done in lieu of leveraging the best talent you can find.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thanks for sharing your thoughts and talking about what we're doing with clients and how you're coming in and you've had a wonderful impact in beginning and making sure and ensuring we have successful relationships with the clients. We're very excited to see what happens in the future, and I know we're gonna have some really fun conversations with lots of more prospective clients and current clients, and making sure that these onboardings and these relationships are gonna be successful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. And